Mr. Noel Cronin, of course, founder of Youghal Communications and many other things.
Well, I'm the secretary of Youghal Communications and the one of the founder members of Community Radio Youghal.
Fantastic. Tell us about the old days now, just so people sitting at home can reminisce on this. Tell us about them.
Have you got 6 hours, Trev?
Yeah, I have. Go
That's
on.
grand, okay. Well, we'll begin. It's the whole idea started in May 1979, where 4 or 5 lads got together and sat down and came up with the idea of having a community radio station. We tried various premises in town to broadcast from, and we were turned down. But we went to Eileen Connolly's, that's Eileen Connolly's up in the Golfings. We went to them and they welcomed us with open arms. And that's why we had Eileen Connolly here this evening cutting the ribbon for us. Trev, looking back on this, the early days, we started with nothing. We had 2 1952 record players, 1 public address amplifier, 1 microphone, and that was it. Absolutely nothing. We were up, as I said, at this used attic. And to give you an idea of it, when the microphone was on, and if it rained, you had to turn the microphone off because the rain beat down top of the tin roof and you couldn't hear a thing, you know. We came from absolutely nothing. Everything was homemade. Everything we had was homemade. The transmitter, the gear, everything was homemade. But we persevered with it. And it grew from strength to strength. And to be quite fair, like without Eileen Connolly and the Connolly family welcoming us then, we wouldn't be where we are today. And I sometimes come in here and I have to pinch myself and say, look, this is after exceeding our wildest dreams. Like Martin Luther King once said, I had a dream. I had a dream along with 4 or 5 other fellas about a radio station, starting a radio station. And I never thought that it would end up in a state-of-the-art premises, digital studio, people coming in and going out, you know. I'm a very, very proud man today.
Fantastic. And you've got a wonderful team with you, and it is just going
Including
from strength
yourself,
to strength. Oh, never mind me. But it's going from strength to strength all the time.
It is going from strength to strength, you know, and it really is taking off. And as I said, like, you know, I'm one of the old analog men. I come in here, look at state-of-the-art digital technology here, and they sometimes say, but how do I get into this? How do I get out of that? Like, you know. But again, it's really taken off, and you know, the sky's the limit with it. You know, we can only go forward and go upward. And already we're making plans for next year for the big Féile conference that we're going to have here coming up in May, and that'll be 35 years broadcasting.
Fantastic. You're not going to retire ever, are you? Honestly, you're not going to. You love it too much, don't you?
That is debatable. There is a time and a place for everything, Trev.
Yeah.
You see, and like there's a time in one's life that you must say that you must call it quits and you must pull in the oars, you know. But I keep it going as long as I can.
Okay.
We keep it going as long as we can.
Well, we hope to keep you on. We might employ you for a bit longer, you know. That's the way.
Yeah, but as I said,
hint.
I like it's a great thing in a way, Trev, because I sometimes come in here and I have I don't know half the people in here. Oh, I do. I don't know half the people in here, tell the truth. I come in here and say, gosh, who's he, who's she, and I have to think of the name and the whole lot, like that kind of thing, you know. And it's great, like, we started off with 4 or 5 fellas, as I said, in a disused attic. We started it as a run for fun, just as a gimmick for during the summer holidays. And the first week into our broadcasting, we realised that this was something big. We started getting notices, community notices up. In other words, the people of town started to take notice of it and started to take, there was a radio station there. Yeah. And it really took off.
Didn't you get letters from all over the place, all over the world? Was there a time when that happened? I know Don McCallie was saying about maybe Killer, but then didn't the transmitter go up in...
Well, what actually happens, Trev, is, I suppose not to go into a finer detail in that, is that we broadcast on 2 frequencies back in the old days. We had a medium wave of 202 metres, and by night time, when we have nighttime programs, we changed to 198 metres. That was 1512 kilohertz. Now what happens is in the winter nights you get what's called sporadic E. Now what that is, it's a reflection of the radio signal down to earth again. The signal goes up and it's reflected down to it. So it basically hops all over the world. The reason we picked that frequency is that on 1512 kilohertz back in the 1970s, there was a very, very powerful station. Jeddah in Algeria was on. And for some strange reason, they just turned off their transmitter at 11 o'clock at night, right? And we'd switch on. Even though we were only maybe 40 or 50 watts of power, the conditions at the time, the signal went all over the world. We had letters from beside the Iron Curtain. We had letters from America, Buenos Aires, Africa, you name it, all over England, all over the Netherlands, the whole lot. We have hundreds of letters, people tuning in, ham radio enthusiasts tuning in and saying, we heard your programme. And we send them out a little card, what's called a QSL card. We send them out a QSL card just to let them know that we recognise that they heard us, you know. So that was in the time before internet, mobile phones, something at all like that, like.
Fantastic. Noel Cronin, we have to leave you there, but we could talk all day about all
that's
this.
what I said to you. Do you want? Have you got 6 hours?
I will have one day, I promise.
All right, one day.
Noel Cronin, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, Trev.